What's going on? Another Can We Keep It Real? Sports, man. We're getting real close to Rhode Island football. What's going on, everybody? We're going to have Willie Edwards stop in a little bit later after he gets out of practice. But today we're going to stop talking to our coaches this week. Mikey Washington over there at Central High School doing his thing. We're going to bring Mike Washington in, first year head coach. Big pair of shoes to fill with Coach Rios. We'll bring Coach Washington in now. What's up, Coach? How you doing?
Yo, what up?
Hi, welcome. It's always good to have you.
Yes, sir.
How we doing? What's going on over there at Central?
I'm all right, man. I can't call it. We're doing well, man. I'm in the middle of doing some inventory, just rearranging helmets, and kind of just cleaning up my equipment room. It's kind of been all about football, kind of like as far as like conditioning and field work and meetings and stuff like that for the past couple weeks. So I'm kind of just gearing up for Monday, trying to get ready, trying to make sure everything's running smooth. So, I don't have to deal with kind of the little stuff and I can just get ready to roll on Monday.
It's here. It was kind of nice having a short off season, getting right back into football. You guys had your mandatory coaches meeting tonight. How did that go?
Yeah. It went well. I mean, they ain't really say nothing that I didn't already know. It wasn't really anything crazy.
I hear you.
There was some news COVID stuff. We're gonna have to wear masks indoors now. But just the same old stuff. They tweaked a few rules, but just the same old general stuff. So it was a good meeting.
Yeah, there you go. I heard all the coaches were going to be there. You just got done with the Breakthrough Academy stuff. Stanley Dunbar, what he did in his first year, I think it was as advertised.
Absolutely, man. I mean, the league was amazing. I don't know, it was maybe over 100 kids, 8 teams, and it was everything that a Rhode Island kid would need in a summer like this. There's not really too much of AAU 7-on-7 really going around aside from the few club programs you have. So to give an opportunity to every single kid in Rhode Island, I thought that was a pretty big deal. And I thought Stanley just did a good job as far as the logistics, as far as the site, as far as the times, how everything was ran, and just how smooth everything ran. So, man, Stan did his thing on that, man. Shout out to him. We had the pleasure of winning it. We lost first week to BTP. But after that first week, I kind of figured everything out, figured the guys out, and we really got the ball rolling. And we ran the table. After that first loss, we ran the table through the season, 3 playoff games, Chip. Shout out to Purple Rain. Those are my guys. We took it, and man, the league was dope. Trophy was big, as you can see. I got it as my icon now. I can't get over that picture.
That's
it was a dope
what's up.
experience. It was a dope experience, and man, I'm happy to be a part of it and to be a part of Breakthrough in the future.
You already know. Shout out Stanley Dunbar. And after I seen these trophies in Vaseline, you already know. I said I'll buy all the state championship trophies this season. If I could help. But Stanley did a great job over there. A lot of kids showed up, even with all the other passing leagues going on. EWG had a passing league, almost 100 kids. There was another passing league going on. So there's a lot of talent in Rhode Island.
Yeah, I seen that trophy.
Yeah, that trophy is actually tough.
Trophy, man.
Yeah, that's big. It's actually tough to carry around. I said maybe you should let the schools keep it for the season.
That was another tough 7-on-7, man. That guy's got to get to, man. I heard that one was tough. Heard that one was high level as well.
Yeah, you know what? Shout out to Coach Fortin, what he's doing over there at EWG and many other coaches, because I've been saying top tier is the new era.
Man. Shout out to Coach Fortin.
Top tier. I think now, respect to there's still some great coaches that've been around a long time, but all you young coaches coming up, you, Charlie B-Ball, Stanley, what Coach Fortin's doing. Coach D'Souza is really doing his thing up in Situate, getting them kids to really believe in him. So, the new era.
Yeah,
Central
man.
coming up.
Yeah, man. The young coaches, man, is definitely needed. The new era is here. I think it's acknowledged and it's pretty clear. The direction that Rhode Island's kind of going in now. Young coaches getting after it. So I'm happy to be a part of this generation of new coaches, however you want to call it, the new generation, the young generation, whatever it is. I'm happy to be a part of it, man, and I'm happy to get after it.
Yeah, definitely. All you young coaches, doing your thing, and it's not a part-time job anymore. Coaches in the past football, you could come out in July, August, and get the car started. You know what I mean? But now
Right.
it's kind of a year-round gig. Do you agree?
You cannot. Yeah, man. I mean, and that's one of the things I'm trying to get in kids' heads, that it is a year-round thing. These kids aspire to play college football. These kids aspire to play at a higher level, but the type of commitment that it takes to play at that high level, you got to start showing that stuff in high school. It's not something that you can just turn on when you get to college. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a drastic experience. So I have guys lifting when the season's over. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm following all rules and protocols, but I got guys lifting out of season. And when the season's coming up, we do lift conditioning, and we'll have meetings, and we'll prepare for the season how colleges prepare for the season. And that's kind of the environment that I wanted to create for my guys. So when they did make the jump to college, it wasn't that brutal. So kids definitely need to kind of experience what it's like to be in a year-round program, and it only makes the kids bigger, stronger, faster, and more sharper for the next year. I think it's kind of the only way you can really have a consistent program is if you are doing something year round, especially in the inner city, especially at public schools in general. We don't have a boatload of kids to choose from every year. So it's very important that the kids that you do have, whether they're freshmen, sophomores, juniors, that you're developing them throughout the year, and they're getting bigger, stronger, faster, smarter in the off seasons, and they're not coming back the same size and the same weight. And it's just not conducive to the program, when you're starting in August and boop, you just throw on your bootstraps and you just get started. It's not conducive, and you can't really guarantee anything if you run your program like that. So, yeah, man, that's why I try to get after it from Sunday to Sunday.
I remember back in the day, you was a player's coach, a cool coach, and I notice now it seems like you're tightening the straps up a little bit.
Absolutely, man. And, I think it's just a part of my growth as a coach and as a man in general. When I first came in, I was 24, and, I was fresh from college. So I didn't really kind of know how to discipline the guys. And I thought being the pure players coach, the cool guy, that type of coach, I thought that's what would get us wins, but it didn't translate, man. And that's just what it is, man. It just didn't translate. And after the 2 years of taking L's, 2018, 2019, and me seeing, me reflecting on how I was coaching and how the kids were responding, because yeah, we're cool and all that other good stuff, but when things hit the fan and it gets real in the trenches, now all that coolness, there's no discipline there. So the kids will show that undiscipline in the game, on the field, in the fourth quarter, when it really counts, when it really matters. I can't tell you how many times we've lost. I think it was like by like 3 points or less in 2019, and it was just a small discipline thing. So after that 2 years, man, I kind of buckled down and I told myself that I'm gonna be hard on these guys because it's the only way, that we're gonna be successful. It's the only way that we're gonna win. And I haven't looked back since, man. So I run a pretty hard nosed program. Kids are expected to show up. Kids are expected to be there. Kids are expected to be there in the off season. And I don't let up on the guys because I want to succeed and I want them to be successful. I want them to be successful in college, in the future, in their real lives. And they're gonna need discipline, and they're gonna need consequences for their actions. So I try to teach these kids, man, how to be a man first, man, and I think it's really it's really helping. We did very well. I got a picture of two of my kids. They just touched down at the University of New Haven. Two all-stagers last year, Damir Lassiter and Emmanuel K. And those guys are prepared, man. You know, they hit me up. I talked to Emmanuel, and he was like, you know, thank you, coach, man. You prepared me for this. I know what I got to do. And, you know, it just warms my heart to know that, like, you know, that number is retired at Central, and I kind of brought it out of retirement for a kid like that. And he took 3 years off of football, and you know, he had an attitude, and there was a lot of stuff that was wrong with E-Man. But man, I pushed him, man, I challenged him, and there was pushback at first. Of course, there always is. You know, there was pushback at first, man, but once he got it, man, he hit the ground running, man, and now he's in college, man, and I'm so proud of him. And he's just one of the many future success stories, man, that will have it at Central. And you know, just keep pushing these guys to get to college, man, and to do the right thing.
And you mentioned that Lassiter name. It kind of made the hairs on my arms because I came up with Lassiter's, and I know for him to make it to college, that really makes his family proud. You know what I mean? Because that
Absolutely,
is
man.
a big step. And if you know, you know.
Right.
You know what I mean? But shout out to him, you know, and shout out to all these kids that could make it to the next level. Speaking of college, 9:30, we have Willie Edwards going to be up here straight off the ground practice field. Yeah, you know, so definitely tune in for that. But your first couple of games, you know, Willie Edwards, he's legendary. Like, you look at the things, he's been a household football name for a long time, and now doing it at the college ranks, he touched the NFL level, you know, as an apprentice coach. So, you know, shout out to him standing up for Rhode Island.
Yeah, shout out to Willie over there at Brown, and shout out to all those guys over there at Brown. They're doing a good job over there.
For sure. I just heard from Xavier Truss. We're going to have him on soon. You know, he has study hall right now. You know, it's nice to bring these guys back. You know,
study hall, huh? Man.
Yeah. I think they call it Rankins. Over at Georgia. You know, but yeah, he's all tough, about man. Rhode Island football.
Right. Yeah, man. It's tough, man. That's what's up, man. That warms my heart to hear, because that's just a little part of the game that kids don't understand that it comes with. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Study hall. We're talking about a Division I athlete at Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And in a study hall at 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to hear the other side of. Yeah, it's always good to hear the other side of it. That's not football. You know, so kids could kind of get another look at, damn, man, these dudes is really out here doing it.
And I'm glad people like you, Xavier Truss, you know, maybe throughout the season we can get Quiddy to slow down and come on the podcast. It's good to have a platform to bring everybody together to show the positivity of Rhode Island football, because we don't need the negativity. Like, leave that stuff at home. We don't need it. We need to push the culture forward.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Yeah, man. And you do a good job. And this is the perfect outlet for coaches to just come on here, you know, and just shoot it straight with you, you know, speak their mind. It's kind of, there's kind of like a barrier between the media and coaches, you know, just because there's one official way that people can kind of talk. Well, people can kind of get across to coaches. So, so it's dope, you know what I'm saying, that you made this podcast specifically for Rhode Island sports, you know what I'm saying, covering Rhode Island sports. And I've seen all the guests that you have coming on here for the future, and like, it's dope, man. I want to see it, man. You know, I'm interested into hearing about other programs, and I'm interested in hearing about the way other coaches think, and like, you know what I'm saying. And this is like a firsthand listen on, you know, the psyche of other coaches. So yeah, it's dope, man. Mikey, man, shout out to you, man. You're doing a good job, even if nobody is saying it and nobody's telling you, man. You're doing a good job. I'm sure people are tuning in to listen to interviews and to listen to guys, man. So you do a good job, man. Keep grinding. Just keep grinding, man.
They are. It's 4 years in the making. You know what I mean? We started from the mud, really, just to get JV guys and freshman guys. Just to get scores, because it's almost impossible. Never mind to find out where the game is, to find a score off from them team. So yeah, it's thank you. I really appreciate that. And I know people can't say it, but hey, shout out to you guys too. You know what I mean? Coach Green said I came out of retirement, now I can come on the podcast And he told me that he appreciated, everything from the state house to the rallies to
Right.
everything for the kids, because you know what? Coach Pennington's mentioned something. He said sometimes us and the coaches, we don't cross midfield and we really don't know each
Right.
other. And this has given us a platform to meet each other, have a good time, maybe come on, joke around a little, and hold everybody accountable at the same time.
Right.
So we're working. Slowly. It takes a village. It takes a
Absolutely.
village.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Like you said, 4 years in the making, man. This thing didn't pop up yesterday. So salute,
No,
man.
no, yeah, it's a lot of work, man. You have a injury fund game in a week one game, or do you have a bye that first
Yo,
week?
okay, yeah. So we got it. So we got our injury fund game. It's gonna be at Mount Pleasant, September 3rd. We usually do end up playing those guys for injury fund. And yeah, man, we got a week one bye. Unfortunately, man, we just cannot find a game. Nobody in Rhode Island. I think all the games are filled, or whatever the case is. But I reached out to more than a few mass teams, and just with the short year, it's very tough. So I do get it. So we may just miss out and have the bye week, but we'll get healthy. We'll practice. We'll still get after it. And then we got Woonsocket week one with my boy Charlie. Man, it's gonna be real kind of surreal playing against him just for my first game, because he was one of the first guys who really welcomed me into the league when I was an assistant coach, and we've been cool ever since. So it's just gonna be dope to share the field with my brother. So that's a dope feeling, man.
No, yes, I seen that on the schedule. I said, wow, that would be awesome. I texted Charlie. I said, maybe we can have like a battle rap face off. You know what I mean? Where you and Mike sit down. You know what I mean? But shout out to Coach Charlie and 2 championships back to back before he's 30 years old, and Woonsocket has a lot more to come.
I tell him all the time, man. I'm trying to get like him, man. I'm trying to catch up to him. I know Woonsocket, man, they're gonna be back on top very soon and back in tip-top shape, man. Like you said, 2 chips under 30 doesn't just happen. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, Woonsocket's definitely a team, man, you want to look out for in the future.
And 2 years ago, they lost early in the season big time to Wesley, and then they went on a run. And they didn't lose another game.
Yeah, man, it's coaching, it's culture, it's the want, it's like you said, man, it's just the culture he created over there, where those guys weren't going to be denied that year after going 0-3 or 0-4 or whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? One game at a time. I remember following him on Instagram, and he was counting down one game at a time, man. And to see him see it through, it was amazing, man. And that's kind of where I get a lot of my inspiration from too, is the guys around me, the guys winning, Charlie, Stanley, Blake, just guys who are just winning around me. So that's kind of where I kind of pull my inspiration from and my hunger from, because those guys around me are doing awesome for their programs
the new era
and for their
coaches.
communities.
You named all
man,
the new
those are my
era
guys,
guys.
man. Those are my guys, man. So I definitely draw motivation from those guys, man.
Shout out
We all
Ryan
compete, man. We
McCormick.
all
He
want to see
said,
each other win.
Ryan McCormick is on the script. Says, have a great season, Coach Michael Washington up at Central High School. Ryan, he's another one working all day.
Thanks, Ryan. Shout out to Ryan, man. Another very unsung hero in Rhode Island, man. I've grown to know Ryan, man, and to appreciate him and what he does for Rhode Island, man. A lot of kids are still learning to appreciate what he does, man. But man, shout out to you, Ryan, man. You do awesome. Good luck to you in your season as well. He has Rhode Island guys, a whole bunch of Rhode Island guys on his staff, and he has one of my kids on his staff too, Nick, that I know that he's taking good care of. And
yes,
yeah,
man,
me and Ryan, we talk. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to what you do.
25 Rhode Island guys on. I think that is an NCAA. I don't think any other school in the state has 25 Rhode Island guys. And,
no way.
and I'm sure Ryan's happy that all the other programs stay away and he gets the Rhode Island guys. But he's always picking up Rhode Island. Like I haven't, like you said, I don't know how to work in man. And Coach Green said when Ryan was a graduate student, he said he had that drive then, and he never let up. So, You know,
Right.
Ryan's a good friend of mine, good recruiter. You know, great for Rhode Island football, and he's somebody that taught me a lot the last 2 years.
Right.
Portsmouth after Woonsocket.
You said what?
I was saying, Ryan taught me a lot the last 2 seasons, so, definitely shout out to Ryan. But I said, and then your schedule, I think you play with Portsmouth, SK, and Cranston West.
Yep. Yep. So we got Portsmouth. Portsmouth, man, they got us. They got me 2018, 2019, and we didn't get them last year on the schedule. But man, Dustin's a great coach. He's a great guy. And man, those are some tough kids up there at Portsmouth. So we definitely look forward to that game. SK is usually a tough game. Division 1, man, is just tough. And I think that's the special thing about the division is every game, it's going to be a dogfight. Every single game, you got to bring your A game. Kids got to bring their A game. Coaches got to bring their A game. So definitely, man, definitely an uphill battle for the schedule. The kids, they're playing 12 games this year. They just coming up off of 5 games. So I know there's definitely some mystery there for some teams, for some kids. So, we definitely got to stay focused, man, because we definitely got a tough schedule.
Coach McCormick said, Nick's doing awesome running outside line with our number ones, well prepared by Central.
Well prepared by Central. Haha, shout out to my guy.
So you have, Division 1. How do you feel about the one bracket 2 championships this season? Which they did it a couple of years ago. The 1 and 2 have a shot at the state champion.
Right. Well, I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I think the 1 and 2 bracket championship is, kind of a way to allow, let's say theoretically, right? Both private schools do play for the championship, and it's both private schools. It's 2 private schools. I think that second championship gives a chance for the public schools, to play in a championship of equal value as well. Theoretically, I say theoretically,
Right.
because obviously anybody can play in the state championship bracket. But for the last 10 years, it's been the same 2 teams.
Oh, it has been,
If I'm wrong, correct me. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. For the past 10 years. So, it kind of sets the table for other teams. But what I do like that Rhode Island Scholastically did, you know what I'm saying, is unlike the Power 4, it gives a chance for every team to have a chance to play for the big one and, to kind of try to chase those guys. So, I think it works for Rhode Island. Obviously, every single state is different. Every single bracket is different. There's a lot more teams in different places and different states. And, where you can just do an outright Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, Division 4, and then a private school championship or whatever it may have. I know every state has its different. But for Rhode Island, I think it works. I think it works. I think if they did a all like a full Division 1 tournament, right? And let's say it was just Hendy and LaSalle, I think everybody would be like, the private schools, So I think that second championship again just allows teams to still compete for something of the same value. I don't think there's really a difference between either championships. I think both champions should be considered state champions. I do think they should change that and kind of word it a little different, but I definitely think the championships still hold the same weight. Kids put in the same amount of work, the same 12-game season, and the privates have, a little more than the publics. So, the chances of them going to that game are a lot higher than your normal public school. So, that second game just allows the kids who are in public school to compete for a championship. And again, I'm just speaking off of the last 10 years. Nothing else. No other information. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That is something to go by. What Pete Froth has done in the last 10 out of 11 seasons, win them all, and I think he's supposed to come up here pretty soon, and that's actually what we're going to talk about.
Right.
In his last 10, 11-year run, and Coach Green, who just retired, said, I mentioned to him, he said, we always welcome coaches that want to see our facility and see what we put into our program. And he said, I think that could be, and yeah, schools should, like NK is starting to, they built a nice gym. But some of these small towns, like North Smithfield, where West Pennington came from, they don't have the luxury,
Right.
of playing out of state teams, of, traveling here, doing this, bringing in all these great coaches. So
Right.
we have to kind of keep a level playing field somehow.
Right.
It's definitely going to be an exciting season, with some great games. You got SK, and then you play Bishop Hendrick was it October 15th?
We do, man. That's a pretty big game for the kids. It's a pretty big game for myself. It's a pretty big game for the program. Like you said, you win. When you're a powerhouse, you win 10 titles. All the eyes are on you, and it's kind of like I bet that, like, there's a target on their back every single week, and teams want to beat them. Teams aspire to beat them. So I'm excited for the challenge, man. I'm excited to be here for it. My kids are excited for the challenge. So it's football. At the end of the day, I tell my kids it's 11 on 11. At the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I have to do to prepare my kids for every single game. And not just that one, but every single game. But my kids definitely know that that game means a lot. Those kids are being recruited. Some of my kids are not being recruited. And it feels like all eyes is on that school. You know what I'm saying? As far as college recruiting, as far as the media, as far as everyone. So, my kids are hungry, man. They're hungry too, So my kids are definitely excited for that game as much as I am.
I noticed that with kids in your program, when they talk about you, when they listen to you, it seems like they buy into not what you're selling them, but they buy into what you're teaching them, and they're willing. Like, I've seen you guys there constantly this summer. It seems like, do these dudes go home?
Yeah, man. Man, we don't, man. They don't. I mean, they spend hours in the building, around the building. I got a PlayStation set up in our locker room. I have recovery. I have the kitchen set up in there. And whether it's workouts, weights, recovery, and chilling for a few hours, man, the kids are always together, building that brotherhood, always bonding, always together. And then that's just how you create tight-knit programs. And, like you said, the buy-in is there. Whatever the kids need, I provide. I just ask them, that they show up and be committed and be consistent, and don't bullshit me. That's all I ask for. I don't ask for anything crazy of these kids. I don't ask for anything egregious. I don't ask for anything. I just ask for the complete buy-in, and every kid who has bought in, they're a champion. You know what I'm saying? We're just coming off a Division I championship. These guys are undefeated season, the first time in 50 years. So much history from the complete buy-in. You know what I'm saying? So now that the proof is in the pudding, I'm doubling down. You know what I'm saying? This is a championship program at the end of the day. You can't just walk in the building. You can't just get a helmet. You can't just put on a jersey. This is Central now. You know what I'm saying? The only Division I program in the inner city. So
Central
it's
is a
not
tough team.
It's not a cakewalk. And now, I want to be an elite team. I don't just want to be tough, and I don't just want to be looked at. I want to be looked at as the cream of the crop. So things have to get done a certain way in order for that to happen. And man, the kids buy in, man, and I'm gonna double down. I'm gonna triple down, and we're gonna be successful if we all have the same attitude about these things, man. So I love those kids for buying in and believing in me and what I want to do.
Yo, my man Coach Washington talking spicy. That's what I like. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? He's talking spicy. He's like, that's it, man. This is it. Central nights. I was growing up, Central was always a punch in your mouth team.
Everybody knows that, right? Central.
You know what I mean?
Everybody knows that, right? You got to be careful. It's always a trap game. you will get punched in the mouth by the Knights. You know what I'm saying? Now it's gonna be cleaner. It's gonna be, more discipline. It's gonna be
Yeah,
it's
no
gonna be
doubt.
it's gonna yeah. It's gonna be real now. It's not just gonna be, kids running around like, nah, we gonna be right. We gonna be in order. So it's definitely Central. You better circle that game if you are an opposing team, because we gonna come with it from start to finish.
The other game, on going backwards actually in your schedule, you and first year coach Addison. Addison is not even a coach that's gonna play with you either.
So we got those guys at 7-on-7. Look, man, Mount is they're I consider them our little brothers. Um, and there's been a rivalry between us for years, ever since I was in high school. You know what I'm saying? I
Oh
never
yeah,
liked
it
Mount.
was.
Yeah,
That goes
right.
way
I
back before
I
us.
never liked. Yeah, right. I never liked Mount personally. You know what I'm saying? But there was always a respect between us, aside from the ugliness. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it was always all love. And that's how it is with me and Jay. Like shit, we bump heads. You know what I'm saying? We're two grown men. We're two competitors, and we bump heads, and it is what it is. But at the end of the day, he has the same goal for his kids. I have the same goal for my kids, and it was like that when Coach Q was there. At the end of the day, they have the same goals for their kids. I have the same goals for my kids, and they're just kids at the end of the day. So you know what I'm saying? Beyond all that other, rah-rah stuff, it's all love. We definitely gonna handle business September 3rd, though. You know what I'm saying? It's still a rivalry, and we
Yeah,
definitely
no
gonna
doubt,
handle
no
it.
doubt.
You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely all love, man, between the two schools, between the two parties, man. I love the AD, Paulie Rayo. That's my guy. So, it is what it is, man. Shout out to MP.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Quick shout out to Ronnie
Yeah.
Roberts, what he has going on. Keep it 401 if
My
you
guy
want to look
Ronnie.
for a recruit, right? Over 3,000 schools. Ronnie's gonna be really doing a lot of live streaming this year. He's really trying to go in and really step up the program. So definitely check Ronnie out and his team. They'll definitely take care of your out and out elite recruits.
Yeah, shout out to my guy Ronnie, man.
And then EG, you play EG, and then Cranston East, and then Mount again for the big rivalry. Like I remember back in the day, that game was like brutal.
Listen, man,
That
we play Mount
Thanksgiving
too
Day
much.
game.
We
Oh
play Mount a
yeah,
little too much, if you ask me, man.
it's tough to
We
win
be
two
playing the boys
times in a
about
row.
3 times a year.
Yep, and
Yeah, man.
it's
Yeah,
always
last
tough
year
to
we
win
played them three
twice.
times. Yeah, we played them 2. Man, we trying to get somebody else on the schedule, man. You know what I'm saying? We
Well,
we
you can't
we
change
looking
that
for some bright.
Thanksgiving Day. That's right, you can't change
Nah,
that
we're gonna.
Thanksgiving
I'm
Day
gonna.
either.
I'm also gonna bring back. I think it's called the Dick Zotty Thanksgiving Trophy. I'm also gonna try to bring it back so we can have something to play for. So I mean, for the future, I don't want to kind of play in the injury fund against him anymore. So I would like just the one meaningful game between us, one big rivalry clash at the end of the year. We'll play for the trophy. It's like a little silver cup. I got it. And I want to bring that back into fruition. So we can kind of play at the end of the year and put all our chips on the table, and we can do it like that instead of playing early in the year and going through all this rah 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 and then playing again. So yeah, man,
No,
that's gonna be
facts.
fun.
When they were digging up Conley Field, I was thinking all the Thanksgiving Day games that were played on this field, all the backyard games that were played on this field, and all the Central Knights and Mount Pleasant football players that over the decades on that Conley Field, the history, so, shout out to both you guys. And that would be great. Have one meaningful game,
Right.
definitely. So, hey, either you got to buy or somebody will fill it in, but maybe take the week off, get the guys stronger, go
Right.
for it, definitely.
Right.
Thank you. I appreciate everything. Anything else you want to add before you go?
Nah, not really,
Good.
man. I'm good, Mikey. Like I said, man, I appreciate you for having me on, man, and I look forward to being on during the season, after the season. Like I said, I'm going to be doing some good stuff with Fans Only Sports Network, man, and my guy Ronnie. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff. We got a partnership going with them for our live streams. So, I look
Nice.
forward to working with you guys, man, in the future, man. I appreciate you again. Shout out to the Knights. Shout out to all my kids. Shout out to the to my administration. Shout out to Cent Nation. We here and we not going nowhere.
Yeah, definitely. It ain't over. Don't go nowhere because we have Willie Edwards coming back. You know, as soon as he gets off the
Okay.
practice field. But I'm letting all the we had a lot of people watching, Mike. You know, they're very in tune. You know, like you're running a great program, and definitely anytime, and we'll talk to you throughout the season, and we'll be reacting to a lot of the fans only football games this season. Also, we'll be playing them back, you know, slowing them down. Maybe have a guest in, react to them. Maybe have a guest coach come in, put the game
Right.
up. Let's talk about it.
Okay, word up.
All right, Mike. Thank you, Coach Washington.
All right, for sure, Mike. Take it easy, my man.
All right, well, good luck, man. We'll talk to you soon. Bye bye. Coach Washington doing his thing over there at Central. That was actually very, very good conversation for what Coach Washington has going on over there. I'm sure it's not easy for any of these head coaches in these situations, but pretty soon we're gonna have Willie Edwards. That's gonna be, that's a history lesson right there. Over there at Brown University, third year head coach. I'm glad he finally. Because I've been asking. I asked him a long time ago. Not that he never said no. It was just we really never had the chance to hook up. But he's right. That Central game, instead of playing it twice a year, maybe Central and Mount Pleasant should only play that Thanksgiving Day game. Had the mic pause. My bad. I like what Coach Washington has going on over there at Central. I like what a lot of these young coaches are doing. Coach B-Ball, what Coach Dunbar's doing. I forgot to show Coach Dunbar. I got a Bulldog jersey on because I'm waiting for these other high schools to get me their jerseys so I can finally hang them up on the wall. But yeah, it's gonna be lit to talk to Willie Edwards, Moses Brown. This dude, 8 years in, he has a 72-21 record. So don't go nowhere. Stick around. We're just waiting for Coach Edwards to actually get in here now. So stand by. Or just tune back in a few minutes. There was one comment I didn't get a chance to ask Coach Washington, but maybe somebody could leave it in the comments. It says, "Can you ask Coach if they offer programs if a child wants to attend that school from another town or district?" I think it's called Pathways. So call your school and tell them that you're interested in transferring your child on the Pathways. Shout out Xavier Trust, Coach Washington, when we talked about study hall, was like, that's what's up. While we wait for Willie to get in, let's go to let's actually pull up some fans. I'll pull up one of these games, so because I know Ronnie Mac cool with that. Hold on, here we go. Let's find one. Let's see. Here we go. How about Central and Cumberland? You know what? Kingstown and Central was a good game. Cranston West and Bishop Hendricken. What else we have here? We're just waiting for Coach Edwards. We got the Mount Hope Barrington game. Cranston East versus SK.
Yeah, that should be fine. Perfect.
Number 2, Angelo Arena, Gustavo Arena, Jesse Arena, and Elliot Tata.
How are we looking up there?
Number 3, AJ Green.
Good.
Adam and Alex Green.
And if you're leaving comments in the group page, it's not going to let me know who you are unless you're like on the podcast page directly, or maybe I think on the YouTube page. But if you're in the group page, I think it just says a Facebook user. So while we wait for Coach Edwards, watch a little bit of this game, courtesy of Fans Only. Go check out their YouTube page, watch all their games. You can rewatch all these podcasts also on the Fans Only Sports Network. You know, definitely support what they have going on, and we'll be right back. Oh, there was that touchdown, but definitely go on Ronnie Roberts' page and see what he has going on before I bring the next guest in. Let me get a few things situated here. 1 second, coach. Let me put this on. Take a quick break. There we go. Before I bring the next guest in, you know, when you're talking Rhode Island football, you can go back to West Warwick Wizard days, running through the line. You know, Willie Edwards' name has been a household name, right? Then going over to Moses Brown, seeing what he did. So let's let him explain all that. But we're going to bring in Coach Willie Edwards, you know, really doing it big for Rhode Island football. Coach, what's good? How you doing?
What's up, Mike? How you doing? Can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah. I can hear you. You know, how was practice?
Oh, we have our first practice on Saturday. We just had our first team meeting in person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, kids were reported today, so we're getting going.
I think I told Emerson Kilgore, I said, you know, Willie Edwards is coming on. I said, I would love to get a history lesson because, you know, Wizards football, you was it.
Yeah, man. I was a part of great history at that school, man. Incredible, going all the way back to the 50s, you know, all the way up to now. You know, they got a new coach there now, so Coach West is going to turn that thing around. But yeah, man, I was very lucky to be part of that.
Shout out Coach Wes Pennington. You know, I think when Wes Pennington took that job, automatically Division II got a little more complicated.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
He'll do well there. Actually, when I was in high school, my senior year, he was a West Warwick police officer. He was a young West Warwick cop before he became a statey.
Yeah, what a great man. I love his ministry program, you know, what he does for the kids and stuff. And, you know, his resume is a movie. You know, bottom line, you know, if you know the man, you know, his resume is definitely a movie. So,
No doubt about it.
So where'd you go from high school? You played at URI, right?
Yeah, so after high school, I did a postgraduate year. I was supposed to do a full year, but I did a half year at Kent School in Weston, Connecticut. You know, I had to do that to get my SATs up and just mature a little bit. But you know, during that time, I had my daughter, who's 27 now, and so I didn't stay the full year at Kent. I ended up leaving mid-year, and took the scholarship at the University of Rhode Island.
That's what's up. And then I know you did a little bit at Johnson and Wales, but that was later on in your career, right? You was in strength and fitness.
Yeah. So yeah, after after figuring out what I wanted to do in life, man, I was fortunate to get a job at Johnson Wales University. I was an assistant strength and conditioning coach, and I ran one of their fitness centers. And they had no football there, but I was able to start working with athletes and start learning, you know, how to coach and motivate kids and stuff like that. So I was very fortunate to learn, you know, be able to work in a college athletic department at such a young age. And then after that, you know, they made some changes in the department. I was already, you know, coaching at Moses Brown, and the folks at Moses Brown figured out a job for me there just to, you know, get me on campus. And I worked there full time for 5 years. You know, with coaching, I was an assistant athletic director there before I took over my current position at Brown.
And your record, if I'm not mistaken, 72-21 at Moses Brown. That's incredible. That's what all the stats that I found. You know, he said, I don't even know, but that is incredible to have 21 losses throughout that long career. And I see a lot of people seeing what you built at Moses Brown, you know, going to the Super Bowl all them years. Two of the best games I seen was you and Westerly battling it out. Michael Walsh quarterback and pass versus run game. It was incredible. Both them games that season were incredible.
Man. Classics, Mike. I remember those games. It was when Dwayne was the head coach there. I think it was in 2017. We played you know, single wing versus spread, tempo spread team, you know, and whoever's, you know, stopped who was going to win the game. And we ended up, you know, edging those guys out. I think it was 46-42. And then a couple weeks later on, we played them in the semifinals, and much lower scoring game than that. I forgot what the score was. I think it might have been.
I think it was within 4. You guys won it at the end, last play of the game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, maybe. I think I don't. Yeah, I know we won. I don't remember exactly. I would have to go back and look at the film. Yeah, I just they were just tough. They had the running back. I can't remember his name. Tristan
Toronto. Yeah, Tristan
he was
Toronto.
just so tough, and Coach Miranda did a really nice job, really getting that thing rolling over there, man. I mean, the single wing is a tough deal. It's a tough deal to stop. And the second game, we put together a scheme that it didn't shut it down, but it definitely limited them on what they tried to do.
Tristan was just a tough kid. I watched that kid carry 4 or 5 people down the line. Comes from a very tough family.
Big fan of his, Mike. I loved watching him because he reminded me of me a little bit when he was probably a little bit faster than I was. Who knows? But he was just big, tough kid that just kept running the ball no matter what, dragging people. He was good, man. He was really good.
In 2 years, I think broke a school record. Yeah, shout out. I think he's doing MMA now. So shout out to him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm always like to see kids succeed. In 2014 to 2015, 31 game win streak.
Yeah,
that's great. It's like these numbers are incredible.
Yeah, we were lucky, man. I mean, we had some great kids, man, at Moses Brown. We had a group of kids. It was the class of 2014. So there was senior year football was 2013. And there was 11 of them. And they were those guys were the catalyst. They bought into my system when they were juniors. And, when they didn't win the Super Bowl, they lost as seniors. We went 10-2. We lost to the great Mount Pleasant team that had the Randolph Zalay, and they were really good. And then I always credit those guys with the 14 and 15s championships and run. Obviously, the 14 and 15 kids had a lot to do with it. They were the ones. But those older guys, the Matt Romanos, the Sebastian Farrells, Eric Cosmopoulos, Colin Lynch, Benji Pinsky, all those kids, those were the guys that really set the tone for the run that we went on at Moses Brown. And then the win streak was great. 31 games. We lost that first game that year to North Kingstown. It was our first year in Division II. And that was kind of an eye-opener. And then we went on to win the rest of the games that year. And then the following year, we went undefeated. And then in 2016, we won we played Shea. We lost to that Shea team. That was incredible in 2016. But, yeah, we're proud of that. We're proud of the 31-game win streak. And I think we have a 20-game home win streak as well, too. I forgot what it was. I have to look it up.
You definitely wore many hats over there at Moses Brown, and it shows you what it takes to build a program, not just be a high school football coach, but you were building a program over there. And that's not easy. Not any coach can step in and do something like that.
Yeah, man. This is as a head coach, you wear a lot of hats. You have to do. I used to tell people all the time I was one of the best therapists on the east side of Providence because you had every day kids have challenges. It's not just kids from the inner city. It's kids that come from different backgrounds have challenges. And everybody responds to it differently. So that was a big deal. And I did all the strength and conditioning for our guys, and it was a 10-month deal. We would play the Super Bowl. We would hopefully expect to go to the Super Bowl, and then I'll give them about 2 months off, and then we get right back at it. And I never had to ask my coaches to do anything. They didn't have to jump on into June. They didn't have to jump on the train to June. I would take all the, from February all the way up to that point, I would do all the strength and conditioning stuff.
And then, we all know, your Hall of Fame appearances pretty much that was before you went to Brown, 2020. Congratulations on that. USA Today, Rhode Island Football Coach of the Year. A lot of great accolades to your Rhode Island coaching history. And we didn't even get into college yet.
Yeah, no, man, I've been I've been very fortunate with great kids to coach. I had a really incredible coaches. My staff, I made sure I surrounded myself with some really high-level guys that understand what it takes to win. So my coaching staff was great. And then the community, the kids, people at Moses Brown, the parents, in the school, they really supported us, and they made sure the kids had everything they needed, to win and be successful. So we were blessed. We were definitely blessed. I always have a soft heart for my time at Moses Brown. I was there 14 years, Mike. So it was a big part of my life.
Oh yeah, definitely. And a lot of people were surprised when you made that decision. But you definitely kept it close. Right around the corner, Lloyd Ave. Now, your first year in college, if I'm not mistaken, you applied for an NFL apprenticeship, and I think you were denied your first one, and then you applied again your second year, and you actually got accepted for 2 of them this time around, right? One for scouting.
Yep. So the first year I applied and I didn't get it. I heard from the New York Giants, but I didn't make their final round of interviews or whatever. And then the following year, I applied for both the scouting and the coaching one, and I got the scouting one. And then like about 2 weeks later, after I accepted the one at the Rams, I heard from the Giants again where they wanted to take me. And I love coaching, but I'm a man of honor and word, and I'm not gonna back out on the Rams. So but that was a great experience. Just the COVID messed it up. We weren't able to do any in-person things. It was mostly virtual.
He was over there with Liam, Liam.
Yeah, I never seen him, but yeah, Liam, when he was there, now he's at Kentucky doing his thing.
Great opportunity for Liam to go to Kentucky.
There's 2 Rhode Islanders there. I think the DC is from Rhode Island too. I think his name's Brad White, a North Kingston kid, or Portsmouth. I know the name, but I don't know of him. So really, the coordinators at Kentucky are both Rhode Island natives, which is pretty cool.
Now you scouting now. It was a great move bringing you in, and then we see Coach Clayway join you guys. We all know Ryan McCormick's doing a great job. We got Cy Butler up there at Bryant, so a lot of these schools are really figuring, let's bring some of these legendary football guys in, because you guys are great with the kids. And how has your experience recruiting so far?
Oh, I love recruiting, man. It's one of my favorite things to do at this level. It's a lot of fun meeting different kids and their parents and coaches, and just getting exposed to how they do different things. I started off recruiting all the Pacific Northwest. They gave me all the, I was a new guy, all the undesirables. I was a new guy in the block, so I had states that were really far away that maybe we didn't know how much Ivy talent. And I did a pretty good job. I brought a couple guys in from those states, and then when one of the guys that had Florida left to the NFL, he went to the Cleveland Browns, and naturally, Coach Perry said, he wants me to take over. I took over Florida. So now I have Florida, Connecticut, and Rhode Island.
It's nice to keep it close to home. You don't have to really travel far,
Florida's beautiful. Go there. It's a quick flight. I basically tell people I live in Florida 4 weeks out of the year because I'm down there recruiting. I do Rhode Island in about 2 or 3 days, and then I'll do Connecticut in like 3 or 4 days. But there's talent in all 3 of those states. Obviously Florida, they talk about Florida, but there's a lot of talent now in Rhode Island. The development that's happening at the high school level and at, all the clubs and the 7-on-7s and, the breakthrough leagues, all of that stuff is starting to add up, in my opinion. All of that stuff is starting to, like I say, put, pennies in the bank. Kids are just going to get better. So the talent pool is getting better. The class of 2023 has a ton of kids in Rhode Island that can play here, in my opinion. There's more than a handful.
Coach Washington was on before you, and we were talking about the Breakthrough Academy, and I also mentioned, the top tier era. The top tier of coaches now looks like the new era. A lot of great young coaches. Stanley Dunbar, a couple of years, he's still a very young coach. Charlie Beeball, back-to-back championships before 30. Coach Washington, they win a championship last season. Coach Fortin, Coach Blake Simpson. They're still great coaches that have been around a long time, but these new coaches that are stepping up, I think they're really developing some great kids.
I love it, man. There's a lot. You mentioned a bunch right there. Jay Addison took over Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's a first-year coach. The kid Jeremy, I can't think of his last name. He's took it over Hope High School. There's a lot of really good, fresh blood of coaches in Rhode Island high school football, and it's needed. Some of the older guys just, it's time to let some of these other guys take the mantle and run with it. Let them put their stamp on it. So it's interesting to see how those guys do. I'm rooting for all of them. I want to see them send me plays.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Players, man. We have what do we have right now? We got 4 Rhode Islanders on the roster right now with Brown and 2 native Rhode Island coaches. So we have 6 native Rhode Islanders in the Brown roster, the most we've ever had. And it's really not by design. It isn't like Coach Perry's like, I have to get my token Rhode Island guy. Like, the kids are talented. They can play here. So with all those young coaches that you just mentioned, send me more, man. We want more guys, man. We know you guys are developing them, and those guys are doing a good job, man. So it's good to see that. It really is. I remember when I was a young guy coming into as head coach.
You're still a young guy.
I thank you for that.
Stanley Dunbar, he's on here. He was actually watching. He might be watching now still, but I like what everyone's doing. And for all these passing leagues, I noticed and a lot of coaches notice there's so much talent in this state. You know?
Yeah, such a developmental tool. You know what I mean? Just all that stuff. I mean, between Emerson doing, his lineman stuff. I mean, there's just so many different people that are willing to help these kids, and we did not have that growing up. And not that our coaches were bad; it just wasn't a part of the deal. It wasn't that, it wasn't something that was offered. And now these kids have something that's special. They have all these coaches that are willing to not only spend their time during the season, but in the off season. So, I mean, the sky's the limit. I mean, the sky's the limit for Rhode Island.
And we have to show, we seen the Quiddy Pay clip where they said they play football in Rhode Island, so we need to step up, and we can't be embarrassed like that ever again.
No, he's repping us, huh, Mike?
No, Quiddy Pay is. Shout out to Quiddy Pay.
I hope Xavier gets a chance, and I hope.
Yes, Xavier will be on the show this week. I talked to him a little while ago. He was in a study hall, so they call it Rankin, I guess, in Georgia. So he's at Rankin. But shout out to Xavier Trust doing his thing. Shout out to all the Rhode Island kids around college. Shout out to the Lassiter making it to college. I just talked to Coach Washington, and if you're from the city, it's big when a Lassiter makes it to college.
Definitely, that's incredible. That's all. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, the kid Anyai is at Notre Dame this year. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, you got Xavier. I mean, and then all the other guys. There's so many other guys that are still playing ball. I tell kids all the time this. All right, if you get a chance to play football in college, that's incredible. A lot of people cannot do that. All right. So it doesn't matter if it's Division I, Division II, Division III. If you get a chance to continue to play after high school, you are accomplishing a great thing. And then what I challenge them with is this, Mike, play all 4 years. That's a huge challenge for me. A lot of kids think and I talk about this in recruiting, they think they love football. I love football. I love football. And then they get to college, they're like, whoa, this is crazy, the commitment. I just like football. Well, it's great that you get there, but play all 4 years. That's a huge accomplishment. Now, other kids that are out there you want to talk about, Trayvonte Jones, who's at Central Connecticut. He's getting some NFL looks. St. Ray's kid, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of great talent here in Rhode Island, man. But I love to see kids play 4 years. Stonehill got 4 kids from Rhode Island. Incredible.
Stonehill's someone else that recruits for Rhode Island very, very hard.
Yeah, they got 4 they got Owls, the Camellas, and they got the kid Cena. All 4. I had all 4 little kids in our camp 2 summers ago, and we discussed all 4 of them. They didn't quite make it, but those are 4 good football players that are playing at Stonehill. So Stonehill did a nice job.
And a quarterback that UMass Stockman has, Stephen Gage putting up like John Madden video game numbers.
And when he graduates, his brother is
yes, Matthew.
Yeah,
exactly. Matthew.
McCormick and those guys at UMass Dartmouth are incredible.
Oh yeah.
Ryan McCormick is probably one of the best recruiters in this area. He just knows everybody. I go to him, for Connecticut kids or kids I haven't heard about. You know what I mean? And that's my guy. I have nothing but respect for McCormick and what they do at UMass Dartmouth.
We have a poll going. If we can get you an episode without someone mentioning Ryan McCormick.
Sorry, man.
But I'm glad we could do that, and somebody mentioned when I was talking about Semicor, he said when you talk Rhode Island, you're getting a good player. And then Coach Green said last week, well, you're getting a tough player.
Yes, sir. Our kids have a chip on their shoulder. Like you said, the Quiddy Pay story, the soundbite about Rhode Island and someone making a joke. Well, we have a chip on our shoulder. We can play ball here. What are they talking about? Just because it's a small state, we can play ball here. All our teams are well coached. We all can play ball here. So, we have to just continue on the trajectory that we're on. All that extra stuff that Stanley's doing and all these other guys are doing, we got to continue doing that extra stuff. And then our coaches in Rhode Island continue to, educate themselves and become better every day. And then our kids are going to get opportunities. This is the most I've ever seen in my lifetime from Rhode Island kids. We had Mike Cloud and Buddy and all those guys when I was in high school. But it's like all of these kids are getting chances to play ball after high school.
St. Ray's is going to be incredible this year. Oh. They have some really, really
I really can't talk about their names because of.
No, I already know that. Yeah,
those kids were at a couple of those kids were at our camp. I was highly impressed, and not only with their ability on the field, how they carry themselves, man. Yo.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Those kids. Coach Sassy, and he's always done a great job there. If you go look at his record, he always sending kids to play college. You know what I mean? And so he's someone that needs to get his flowers now too, because he always does a good job. So yeah, they're gonna be good though, Mike. I mean, they ran into a buzzsaw last year with Barrington. Barrington had a bunch of seniors and they ran that triple like to perfection.
Triple option, yeah.
It's hard to simulate that in practice, but they have a good. I watched a lot of games in the spring because I can't go to them, so I got an NFHS package.
I got the $10 a month. I end up paying.
Me too.
Yeah.
I like they do in Wesley that they broadcast the games in Wesley.
Yeah, the Wesley.
Who's the guy that talks though? He's hilarious, bro.
They actually have a new guy this year on Greg Morano, who started doing it this season. I did it last season. Someone else did it the season before, but
you'll get you back up there.
Yeah, definitely. But that goes all politics.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Some people can't handle things I say and do, but it is what it is.
Make everybody happy, bro.
Nah, definitely. Coach Nadeem, big shout out to you. Nadeem Robinson said, "What's up?"
That's my guy. That's my guy. He's another top-notch dude. That's with his BTP program, Beyond the Pads, man. That's another big-time program that's helping so many kids out. And now they're getting on the scene between him and Herlin Perry. And between that, like I said, all the stuff that these dudes are doing is just all pushing the agenda forward. You know what I mean?
And you got a nice job with Coach Croft, he's varsity wide receiver coach now. So, he's doing things. He's done a lot during COVID for these kids.
You're gonna see different. I mean, obviously, Hendricks always had good teams, but you'll see a difference in those wideouts when Coach Nog gets his hands on them.
Oh yeah, definitely. So if kids are watching today and they want to think they can do Ivy League, they got the grade point average, they got all that going. What do they have to do to reach out to you?
Yeah, man. I mean, obviously, I'm not hard to find. Kids that want to get recruited, period, they need to be on Twitter. Okay, I do probably 90% of my recruiting on Twitter, finding kids. We have services and stuff like that, but it happens on Twitter. So, they want to have a clean Twitter page with their name, clearly visible, their height and their weight, their ways to contact them. I would suggest an email and put their number up. Their huddle highlight film and where they're from. That's the first thing I would tell them to do. And the second thing, if they're from Rhode Island, they have the grades and they think they can play at Brown, you send me a DM. You send me a DM. I would suggest that more than an email. Send me a DM on Twitter. I'll see who you are. I'll look at your film and I'll let you know. But you hit the nail on the head, Mike. If you want to play at this level in this league, you have to be right academically. All right, you have to be. So all the little kids that are out there, or the parents that are listening, it's not just what it starts in 9th grade. Okay, that's just the record. That's how they're going to measure you, 9th grade through 12th grade. The foundation starts in 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. You got to build the foundation like you're building a house. You can't just throw walls up on the roof and expect that thing's going to stay there forever. It's going to fall down eventually. So you have to dig a hole, build a foundation, and that happens 5th through 8th grade. And so when they get to 9th through 12th, they're not getting no C's. We're getting all B's and A's, and we're doing what we got to do for the standardized test. And if you're good enough to play and you have the grades, we're here. We're outside. We're going to take a look at you. You know what I mean?
401. You know what I mean? Let's keep it Rhode Island. And Emerson said something a few weeks ago. He said, even though he went D1, he said it took all 4 years of high school to get them offers. And everyone that remembers Emerson knows Emerson could play some ball. And he said it took all 4 years up to the last Super Bowl game. So you really don't have time to get a bad sophomore year or a bad freshman year. If this is what you want, you gotta dig in. See, it's Coach Dunbar right there putting something up on the screen. He said,
"Yes, he is, my man." Nah, Emerson's right, man. If you come out freshman year, man, you don't do well. It's gonna be you're in a hole now. It's gonna be hard to dig out of that hole. So I tell my nephews we're building that foundation 7th, 8th grade, and we're on record in 9th grade. You know what I mean? For us, we get kids that do exactly that. We get kids that bomb out, not bomb out, but don't do great freshman year, do well sophomore, junior, and senior year. And now I got to get them to write a quick paragraph saying why freshman year went so bad. You know what I mean? And that's how it is here. That's how it is at these type of schools. You know what I mean? They want to know why, you did so well your sophomore, junior, senior year. What happened your freshman year? Now you have to, explain. So it starts from there. It definitely starts from there. You know what I mean?
Coach Willie Edwards, I know you got long days. Thank you, man. This dude, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Same thing with a lot of these recruiters, but I'm noticing the season's here. Now you got work.
Man, whew, it's on, man. I mean, we're now, we've got 2 weeks of camp, and it's going to be a lot of 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. I mean, I'm still here at the office now, so 10 p.m. days, man. And once we get through these 2 weeks, we get everything ready to go, and then it's a sprint for us. We don't have bye weeks in 5A League. It's 10 straight games. You know what I mean? And we start, the middle of September as far as games, and we end before Thanksgiving. So, I like I used to say at Moses Brown to my players, I got no rings on my fingers, man. And I'm trying to win the title. I want to, all I care about is winning the title, the Ivy League title. That's all I care about. I want to win the Ivy League title.
That would be big for the 411. A lot of accomplishments you have, Coach. Congratulations. Welcome anytime. Shout out to Najee Barrows. He said, "Let's get it." Exactly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But
he has the factory, right? That's the factory, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. Guys like that too. All guys like that. All that stuff adds up. If he's working with, doesn't matter who he's working with. Those kids are going to get better because they're working one-on-one with someone that can really help them get better. You know what I mean? Exactly. Shout out to my dude Jay Addison, one of the best O-line coaches and now head coaches in the state, man. He's gonna do. He has some big shoes to fill with Pete Keyway, but he's gonna do it. Trust me, he's gonna do it.
Coach Washington just mentioned. He said, we played him for the injury fund game, and we play him on Thanksgiving Day game. He said we played Mount Pleasant too much. Coach Washington was talking spicy. He said Central's here to build a program, man. He said you come on Central, we play him, but he's looking forward to that Mount Pleasant matchup.
No doubt. That's the city, man. That's the city. I tell you about the Mount Pleasant kids. Strap up. They will strap up too, man. So I'm excited. I'm probably if that works out schedule wise, I'll be on paying my $10 at the chest.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I told him, I said when they dug up Conley Field, I was thinking all the great games I see from flag football from Manton Ave when they had the flag football games going up to, in Central Mount Pleasant because I come from Manton Ave, so. Watching all the Central Mount Pleasant Thanksgiving Day games. So, I was kind of watching that field get ripped up, but it was beautiful.
That's when they had the other side, right? They had the other.
Yes. Well, that was way before me. That was but yes, they had stadiums on both sides. That
place is such a jewel, man. That place is incredible. They should put the Super Bowls there.
Yeah, that would be nice, or maybe we should get McCoy Stadium. That could be an interscholastic league, like championship, another place. Yeah, there you go.
That'd be awesome, man.
Coach, thank you anytime, man. Definitely come on. You're always welcome, man. Shout out to all the kids. Shout out to everything, all you recruiters and coaches and volunteer parents and everyone got going on, man. Thank you, Coach.
Mike, man, I appreciate what you're doing for Rhode Island, man. You're just getting the message out and getting people exposure, man. And that's, between you and Ron Roberts and the guy from the Journal. I don't like to mention anybody's names, but I ain't trying to start no problems. But
nor am I.
Just the fact, but you guys, even though there's there always could be a little bit of friction.
Yeah, it's all good.
We're all on the same team, man.
Yeah, no doubt. It's all love. I don't have no problem with that.
Yeah, it's all on the same because you guys are all doing it. It has to be about the kids.
I have fun. Yeah, definitely, man.
Thanks for what you do, man. Definitely thanks for what you do.
Thank you, Coach, man. Willie Edwards doing his thing. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Coach Edwards doing his thing, man. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone that tuned in, man. Shout out to R&R Elite Recruits. Thank you to all the coaches that really tuned in. But if you was on earlier, tell me Coach Washington wasn't talking spicy about them Central United. And don't forget, coming up soon, we're going to have Stanley Dunbar in the house. We're going to talk some Wesley Bulldog football. He has no choice. So he's coming. But Emerson Kilgore doing his thing. Thank you, Najee. I caught your live stream earlier. Nice to see the little guys playing. And that's what it's all about, right? Bringing this thing together. Shout out to the top tier, right? All the new era coaches. But I will definitely talk soon. It was really good talking to. What a great day of football it was. Talking to Coach Washington at Central, taking over, and then Willie Edwards coming in. Look, he wasn't even home yet. He was still over there on Lloyd Ave doing his thing, man. But if you want to be a guest, you want to talk something, you want to pop off, let me know. We out.